Green fodder is vital to feed livestock, but reduced availability of grazing land and scarcity of water to cultivate fodder makes it hard to produce green fodder throughout the year. The lack of quality fodder hampers the growth, production, and reproduction of livestock. In this video, we will learn how hydroponic fodder can help to solve this problem. Hydroponic fodder is produced by growing seeds without soil and with little water. A week after the seeds have sprouted, the seedlings will be up to 30 centimeters tall and provide a highly nutritious fodder. Hydroponic fodder has more nutrients than traditional fodder, dry food, or grains. Compared to traditional fodder, which often needs up to 2 months to grow, you can grow hydroponic fodder in just 1 week. Hydroponic fodder can be produced on a daily basis throughout the year, even in times of water scarcity, so you do not need to store fodder. It also does not require any chemicals or pesticides. Before taking a closer look at how to grow hydroponic fodder, let us listen to some farmers in India about its benefits. Compared to traditional fodder production, we need less water for hydroponic fodder. Only 3 to 4 liters of water is needed to grow 1 kilo of hydroponic fodder compared to 70 to 80 liters for the traditional method. We also need less manpower using this method, as the fodder can be grown right there where we keep our animals, so reducing the work to transport fodder from the fields.
Previously, we needed to harvest and transport fodder from the fields. But with hydroponic fodder, we no longer need to do this. To make hydroponic fodder, we only need a small piece of land, so we have more land to grow other crops.
Let us now see how to grow hydroponic fodder. To grow good quality fodder, you need to be able to control the temperature and humidity. Unlike traditional fodder, hydroponic fodder does not grow well under direct sunlight, so you need to build a shed. To build a shed, you can use bamboo, logs, iron rods or plastic pipes, shed netting and gunny bags. Very little space is needed. You can even use a small part of the livestock shed. When the fodder shed is close to a water source and your livestock shed, it will be easy to use and requires less work. Farmer Sukhdev Kadam makes a structure with bamboo poles and netting. Leave some open space between the roof and the side walls to allow ventilation. When the shed is well ventilated and airy, you can more easily maintain the temperature and humidity. Hydroponic fodder is grown on trays. Select a medium-sized tray of about half a meter by 1 meter, which you carry or move easily, and that is also strong enough to hold the weight of the fodder. On one tray of this size, you can put 1 kilogram of maize seed. To grow fodder, the seeds should be kept moist, so it is best to use plastic trays. Metal trays easily rust. The seeds should not be saturated, so use trays with holes or make holes yourself to drain any excess water. Inside the shed, build a bamboo rack to hold the trays. Build the rack according to the size of trays available in the local market. Depending on the length of your rack, you can place required numbers of trays on each layer. A rack can have 3 to 4 layers, but should not be too high as you need to easily spray water and remove the trays. Keep sufficient space between 2 layers so you can easily water the seeds. Each layer should slope slightly to one side of the rack to allow water to drain from the trays.
हायड्रोपॉनिक ज्यावेळेस ते रॅक आपण रॅक बनवताना म्हणजे बनवलं.
When preparing hydroponic fodder, make the rack for your needs. Every day, I need 4 trays fodder. So for 7 days, I have built a rack that accommodates 28 trays.
7 दिवसाचा चारा रॅकमध्ये रोजचं 4 म्हणलं तरी 7 चौक 28 ट्रे बसेल असं मी रॅक बनवलेला आहे.
Now that you have trays and have built your shed, you can start to produce hydroponic fodder. Always use good quality seed. Never use broken or unhealthy seeds as these will not grow properly. It is best to use seed that has been threshed by hand because more seeds will germinate.
हायड्रोपॉनिक चाऱ्यामध्ये आपण मका, गहू,
We can use maize, wheat, pulses and horse gram seeds to make hydroponic fodder. But don't use pearl millets and sorghum seeds because the sprouted leaves contain poisons that will harm your livestock.
आणि त्याच्यामुळे गाई म्हशी दगवण्याची दाट शक्यता असते.
हायड्रोपॉनिक चारा तयार करण्यासाठी मी मक्याचा वापर करतो.
I use maize seeds to produce hydroponic fodder. In a hot climate, maize seeds are good for hydroponic fodder, while in a cold climate, wheat and oat seeds are good.
ओट आणि गव्हाचा वापर करावा.
Add a bucket of clean, lukewarm water into a plastic tub with the seeds. Remove seeds that float on the water as these will not germinate. To avoid fungus on sprouted seed and fodder, add half a handful of salt and soak the seeds for around 12 hours. Drain the water, then wash the seeds with clean water and transfer them to a gunny bag to allow them to sprout. In hot conditions, the seed will take about 24 hours to germinate, while in cold conditions, they will take more than 24 hours. Wash the trays properly every time before using them. Check the tray holes are not blocked. Now remove the sprouted seeds from the gunny bags and spread them evenly and carefully over the trays. Place the trays on the rack. Place some plastic under the rack to collect the excess water out of the trays, or make a small drainage line under the slope side of rack so we can collect the water and use it for gardening or other purposes. Every day, water the sprouted seeds evenly using a watering can. In hot conditions, water them every 2 hours and in cold conditions every 4 hours. Some farmers use sprinklers for watering the seeds. Clean the shed regularly. If too much humidity builds up in the shed, molds can develop. Do not lift the sprouted seeds from the tray before harvesting, as this affects the growth of the fodder. Within a week, one tray with 1 kilogram of maize seed can produce about 8 kilograms of fodder. Once the slab of fodder is ready in the tray, take it out and cut into pieces before feeding it to the livestock.
हायड्रोपोनिकची लादी
We break the hydroponic fodder into small slabs to make it easier for the animals to properly eat the fodder.
म्हणजे गायींना व्यवस्थित खाता येते.
Give this fodder to livestock along with other food and dry fodder. From the total quantity of fodder, give half hydrophonic fodder and half other food and dry fodder. The fodder is extremely soft and loose, nutritious and tasty, and as a result, animals happily consume it. You can feed everything: the roots, seeds, stems and leaves, so there is no wastage. Avoid keeping the fodder in the tray for more than 9 days, as fibers will start to develop and the nutrients will slowly decrease. Let's review what we have learned. Very little space is required to produce fodder without soil. Inside a shed, build a rack using bamboo to hold the plastic trays. Make a slight slope on one side of the rack so excess water can drain out of the holes in the trays. Select a medium-sized tray that is strong enough to hold the weight of grass. You can use a variety of grains, but always use a good quality seed. Avoid using broken or unhealthy seeds. Soak the seeds in water for around 12 hours. After 12 hours, drain the water and store the seeds in a gunny bag until the seeds sprout. Spread the sprouted seeds evenly on the trays and place the tray on the rack. Each day, every 2 hours, spray water over the sprouted seeds. Within a week, you will have green fodder. Once the slab of fodder is ready, take it out of the tray and cut into pieces before feeding it to the livestock. Saving water, minimum land use, less labor, faster growth, giving a high yield of highly nourishing fodder that will improve your livestock. These are the key benefits in hydroponic fodder production.